Today's Namaste Yoga continues our Benefits of Yoga series, and today's benefit is flexibility. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. Hello and welcome to episode 194 of Namaste Yoga. Today we're continuing our series of the Benefits of Yoga series, with our benefit today being flexibility. And I have a testimonial to begin for you today. This testimonial was written on episode 180, the Yoga for Weight Acceptance episode, and it comes to us from Janie, and she says, "Thank you for this beautiful practice. I have battled with an eating disorder and body self-hatred for over 30 years. 9 months ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and lymphoma and have underwent a mastectomy. It is amazing how something like cancer can turn into a gift. It has given me the opportunity to learn acceptance and appreciate my life and my amazing body, and the opportunity to heal, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Last week, I randomly typed in yoga in the Facebook search, and I found you. I am feeling overwhelmingly grateful as I have spent a week just getting to know you and seeing the amazing videos that will bless my journey. I just finished doing this practice, and I feel such a mixture of emotions. We'll be repeating it again. Peace and love, Janie." So thank you for that awesome testimonial. Thank you for leaving your testimonials at thankyoumelissa.com. And a huge thank you to our clothing sponsor, Squeezed, today for my 6 brand new tops, and you can have them too if you go to squeeze.ca. I'm wearing the brand new deep teal bamboo top, and the more you fiddle with the bottom, the more frilly it gets, and it just sits away from your body like silk, like bamboo does. It just floats away from your body. This is a beautiful kind of racer back tank, and I just love, it's got my favorite design on it, the winged heart, and we did a huge photo shoot yesterday. These tops have been much long awaited. They were supposed to be ready in June. And so it's perfect timing for the Australians who are heading out. They're in their spring and getting ready for summer now. So the great thing for them is that they'll be able to wear them outdoors, because these are yoga clothes that you can wear right onto the street as well, which is fantastic. But they work great for yoga. So for everybody else, I know we wear short sleeves and tanks all year round on our yoga mat, so it's just fantastic for that as well. So I love this deep teal, and I'm super excited about wearing it today for our flexibility class. So to begin this class, you're going to be doing legs up the wall with sleeping eagle arms. So let me show you how to do that. Woo. Oh, that was a monarch butterfly that just gave me a kiss on my shoulder. That was so sweet. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that right here. We don't really have a wall here. I suppose we could find one. You want to use that flower pot? Okay, let's do that. Walk on over. We can do that. Do you want me to take all my stuff? Okay. We are in this gorgeous park in the Guild. This is where we actually took all our photos yesterday for all the new tops. So we decided to come back here to do our yoga class today. So for today's class, you'll need a wall to start. And you'll just start with your tushy right at the edge of your mat and your butt right against the wall. And you're going to swing your legs up the wall. And then take one arm up, hook the other arm underneath, and rest your palm on your forehead. Okay, so you stay here, and I will go ahead and contextualize the class for you. Set up our theme of flexibility. So we all know that one of the main benefits of practicing yoga is flexibility. The yoga asanas allow us to become more limber in our bodies. Bodies that are stiff from sitting all day at computers, on commuter trains, and flaking out on couches watching television. According to the Tao Te Ching, whatever is flexible and flowing will tend to grow, whereas whatever is rigid and blocked will wither and die. As yogis, we stay fluid, young, and supple through our practice of yoga asana. However, as we've been learning in this Benefits of Yoga series, the yoga asanas are only a tool and a starting point. A flexible body allows us to be flexible in our minds, emotions, and spirits as well. I can think of so many examples in my day-to-day life where I am asked to be flexible, especially in relating to others and in relationships. Almost every time when we are choosing a location to film Namaste Yoga, I might have an idea in mind, and inevitably Tim will have a different idea in mind. We're both laughing right now. Things don't always go as planned. This example alone has tested me again and again on how flexible I am. You've all heard that saying, as long as everything goes exactly the way I want it, I am totally flexible. Now that I have awareness of these moments, I see these points in my relationships where I might not get my own way, and I have the opportunity to compromise. And these are occasions where I get to practice being flexible again and again and again and again and again and again and again. As yogis, we learn to be flexible in our bodies so we can also be fluid in our emotions. We can learn to move through our emotions like a river flowing around any obstacles on its path. The water of a river adapts to whatever route is available. When we practice yoga, we have the skill of flexibility to take our yoga off our mat, and therefore we are able to feel our emotions fully, yet not get stuck in them. We can feel our happiness, sadness, anger, curiosity, and flow through a full range of emotions. But we don't have to get stuck in our sadness, depression, anger, or get caught in a grudge. Today we are going to focus on how this flexibility helps us in our life. Of course, as we've learned in our first class in the Benefits of Yoga series, strength goes together with flexibility. So it is important to stay committed to your intentions and your sankalpa, but allow yourself to be flexible in your approach. As they say, when nothing goes right, turn left. We can be flexible as yogis. In today's class, we are going to focus on the opposition of tree pose, that would be your stability, and eagle pose. And this quote that was the inspiration for putting together this class for me. If you don't like where you are, change it. You're not a tree. As yogis, we can be flexible. Even as trees, we can be rooted and grounded, and we can bend in the wind. After all, it's better to bend than to break. On top of that, we can take the qualities of eagle and choose to move wherever we want in life. Eagle's pose requires flexibility in our joints. Just like our flexible joints, our thinking can be flexible, gentle, tolerant, bending, praising, complimentary, and yielding. Our joints allow us to freely express ourselves. They allow us to join up our thoughts and feelings with our actions. They allow us to move with grace and comfort. Fluid joints mean thoughts and feelings that express acceptance and affirmation in our world. So go ahead and reflect back on the teachings that I've offered on flexibility today. Go ahead and form an intention for your yoga class today about how this benefit of flexibility can best serve you in your life right now. And then when you're ready, you can bend your knees and roll to your side and move away from the wall. So we're going to begin by creating some fluidity in your joints. We'll start with your shoulders and your hip joints. So you'll lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. And hold on to your elbows. And then just roll your head to the right side and lower your elbows to the right side. Bring your head and elbows back to the center, and then roll your head to the left side and lower your elbows to the left side. And inhale, come back to the center. So exhale, lower. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower. Inhale, center. Is that another butterfly? There's something right by my ear. Buzzing. Oh, dragonfly? Wow, pretty cool. Okay, and then come back to the center. And this time, maybe even take your feet as wide as your mat and lower your elbows to the right, your head to your right, and sway your knees to the left. So now you're adding your hip joints. And, oh, my hips apparently are tight. Lower your elbows to the left and your knees to your right. Okay, so opposite directions. So now you've got your hip joints and your shoulder joints. So your pelvis is staying still and your leg bones are moving within the stable structure of your pelvis. Same with your shoulder girdle. Your shoulder girdle is staying still. Your arm bones are moving within that stable structure. So you do need stability within your flexibility. And we talked about that in the first class of this series. Even you could draw some stability from your core by doing Uddiyana Bandha, drawing your navel towards your spine. And then one more like this, each side. And take your legs straight down and your arms straight overhead. And let's do wrist and ankle circles for flexibility in your wrist and ankle joints for eagle's pose. And then circle your wrists and ankles the other way. So flexibility in your joints. And then roll onto your left side. Allow your whole body in on the side of your body like couch pose. And then we'll do side lying tree pose, vrikshasana, with your right foot on the inside of your thigh. And bring your right arm overhead for side lying tree pose. And then roll over onto your stomach. And from your stomach, we're going to do just a little gentle warm up of your spine. And I was thinking about, what's the kind of iconic yoga poses that represent flexibility, or iconic things that are in yoga that represent flexibility? Well, a snake does, right? So Cobra pose. Now think of this as a warm up and really get that image of a fluid snake in your mind. And imagine yourself like a cobra snake. Press your pelvis into the ground and inhale. Imagine your body like a snake. Just let it be really fluid. Let go of that bony idea of your spine and instead just become like that fluid snake. And exhale, lower down. And let this be a warm-up too. Inhale. Just be fluid like the cobra snake. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. So just be as soft and fluid as a snake. Flexible like a snake. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. And one more here. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Okay, and then on the other side, our tree pose on the other side. So lie on your right side now. So this is our opposition of the tree versus the tree that doesn't move versus the eagle that can move. So lying on your right side, straight line. Left leg comes up to the inner thigh, and your left arm comes up and over. And then come up onto all fours. And then, of course, the other iconic animal that we have in yoga is the cat pose, which is just so fluid and supple. So bring that image to mind as you take your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And exhale, round up through your back. And inhale, and then arch through your back. And as you exhale and round up through your back and shift back towards your heels. This is just a really fluid way to do this arching cat as you shift back towards child's pose. And then as you come forward towards your wrists, it just feels so fluid to do cat pose that way. So Marjarasana. So this is just such a beautiful garden where we are here today. There's so many dragonflies. There's even a few hummingbirds around. Just wanted to share this beautiful space with you today. Okay, we're finished cat now. From cat pose, we're going to do pigeon pose. You're going to take your right knee forward to your right wrist, bring your right heel over to your left hip bone, reach your left leg long and back, and fold forward over your bent right knee. And work on the flexibility of your hips here. Your hips are the home of your emotions, so this is a great place to work on the fluidity and flexibility of your emotions. And then coming up and out of pigeon, Ikpad, Rajpatasana. Bring your left knee forward to your left wrist, your left heel over to your right hip bone. Reach your right leg back and long. Fold forward over your left bent knee. And doing pigeon pose on the other side. This is a great prep pose for your eagle's pose as well. Okay, and then come on out of the pose. And you may notice when you come out of the pose that we're not where we started. And we've had one of those days where when nothing goes right, you turn left. And we've been tested on our flexibility today. So where we were before, they started mowing the lawn. So we thought, oh, well, we'll be flexible. We'll go have lunch and then we'll come back and start filming again. And then we came back and they were doing all the edging. So then we said, okay, we'll be flexible. We'll come home. So since we were filming, I've had lunch and a nap on the way home in the car. So I should be well rested and well fed. Okay, so come from here. We're going to come up to standing. So your hands under your shoulders, your knees on your hips, tuck your toes under. Come into downward facing dog. and then make your way up to standing. Okay, from standing we're going to do some of our tree poses, and we're going to start with palm tree pose, Talasana, with your feet underneath your hip bones. You can take your arms straight in the air. Inhale, exhale, and side bend, side to side, like a palm tree. You're swaying from side to side like a palm tree. So even though trees don't move, trees can still be flexible. So we'll practice being flexible like palm trees. And you'll see some trees will bend in great directions and be incredibly flexible. See some trees growing out of the sides of rock cliffs and amazing things like that. So some trees exemplify great flexibility in some circumstances. And then for the next version of tree pose, Vrikshasana, I'd like you to use a wall. So have the wall on your left side, stand on your right foot, pick up your left leg, and then inhale here. You're going to actually side bend and place your hands on the wall here. Okay? So you're side bending towards the wall, towards your bent leg. So side bending tree. Then we'll come up and we'll do this on the other side. So this time you'll have to turn around so the wall's still on the side that you're going to bend towards. You'll stand on your left leg, pick up your right foot, place it on the inside of your leg. So the wall is on your right side now. And then you're going to side bend towards the wall again so your hands are on the wall. So side bending tree. And then come on back up to standing. And then our theme for today is that trees pretty much have to bloom where they're planted. But we're not like trees. If we don't like something, we can move. We can be like the eagle. We can be flexible. We can go somewhere else. We can create our life. We can create our own destiny. And so we can fly and soar and be whatever we want to be and go wherever we want to go. So stand on your right leg, your left leg. No, that's your right leg. Cross your left leg over. Take your right arm up. Hook your left arm underneath it. And even the balancing poses are such a great example of being fluid and flexible because they're always moving. Okay, and then release eagle's pose from this side. And you'll stand on your left leg now. Bend your left leg. Cross your right leg over. And you can just keep your right toes on the ground, or you could hook them all the way around depending on your flexibility in your hips and your joints. Bring your left arm up, hook your right arm underneath it. Bring your palms together, maybe. And then go ahead and release that pose from your body. And we're going to come down. We're going to do Cobra pose to feel that back bend again now that you're more warmed up. So come down onto your stomach. Okay, so lie down on your stomach. And tuck your tailbone under, press your pelvis into the ground, take your hands underneath your shoulders, roll your shoulders back and up, and really get the image of the snake in your mind. Feel the softness and fluidity in your body. Exhale, inhale, softly lift your torso up off the ground. And then push up onto all fours, draw your knees up underneath you, and come back to Balasana, child's pose. And then inhale up onto all fours and reach up to your side with your right arm. Reach your right arm between your left wrist and your left knee. Come in to thread the needle on this side as for our twist today. And unthread your needle, and we'll twist to the other side. Inhale, open up. Exhale, twist through. And then come on back to the center. And we're going to come to seated. And we're going to do the Garuda Mudra, which is the eagle's mudra. And it looks probably like you might think an eagle's mudra might look like, which is just you cross your hands in front of each other and you hook your thumbs, and looks like my flying heart design. So that's the Garuda Mudra. So if you wouldn't mind timing us for about 3 minutes while we sit with this, Tim. Thank you. Okay, so gently release your Garuda Mudra. And you can either finish your practice here, or you can, for Shavasana today, I'm going to suggest that you go back to legs up the wall with the eagle's arms. So remember that look like you sit at the edge of your mat right against the wall. You swing your legs around and up, and then you hook one arm on top of the other, and you do the sleeping eagle's arms, you rest your palms on your forehead. So allow yourself to rest deeply and receive your practice on flexibility. Reflecting back and seeing what stands out for you most when you think back to the teachings on flexibility. And when you think back to that thing that stands out the most, ask yourself, what's the life connection? How does that connect to the rest of your life? And what's one small thing that you can do to take your yoga with you off your mat today and into your life? And gradually allow your breath to deepen. And bend your knees. Roll to your right side. And slowly make your way up to seated. So thank you for joining me for making time for episode 194 of Namaste Yoga. If you like this class, give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments below. And I'll see you next week for episode 195. Namaste. Thank you for leaving your testimonials. And then come on back up to standing and